Stories from Grandparents' Homelands. Stories from Grandparents' Homelands. Grandma Lyra, tell me another story. Little Pip squeaked, bouncing on the embroidered cushion beside her. Lyra, her face a roadmap of laughter lines, smiled. Which story, little sparrow? From the shimmering isles of Perhaps, or from the whispering forests of Pip? A whirlwind of bright blue overalls and untamed curls shook his head. Tell me about the sky weavers, Grandma. The ones who paint the aurora, Lyra chuckled, settling deeper into her rocking chair. Very well. This is a story from my homeland, a land kissed by starlight and whispered secrets. It's a story about a young girl who wanted to be a sky weaver, just like her grandmother. Was a small girl with eyes the color of the twilight sky. She lived in a village nestled against the azure peaks, a place famous for the sky weavers, artisans who painted the aurora borealis with threads of moonlight and stardust. Every night the sky bloomed with swirling colors, emerald, ruby, sapphire, a breathtaking spectacle created by the sky weaver. Dreamed of joining their ranks, but sky weaving was a tradition passed down through families, and her family were simple farmers. It's easy, you know, Lyra said, her voice low and warm. His father, Bram, wanted her to learn the fields, to help with the harvest. He said sky weaving was a dream for others. Tried to help Bram with the crops, but her heart ached to learn the ancient techniques of color mixing and thread manipulation. She would sneak away to watch the sky weavers practice, her eyes wide with longing. One day, she overheard the lead sky weaver master saying that the colors were fading. The magic of the aurora was weakening, and no one knew why. It's true, little sparrow, Lyra confided. The colors weren't always so bright. They relied on the flowers that grow only on the highest peaks. The flowers possessed a magical luminescence. When spun into thread, they provided the vibrant hues of the aurora. But the blights had taken root on the highest peaks, and the flowers were disappearing. Knew she had to do something. She told her grandmother, Nana Willow, about the fading colors and her desire to help. A brave girl you are, Nana Willow said, her voice raspy with age. But the peaks are dangerous. The wind howls like a hungry wolf, and the ice spirits guard their secrets. But was determined. She knew she had to try. She asked her father, Bram, for permission to climb the azure peaks, but he refused. It's too dangerous, you're just a little girl. But the colors are fading, father. The aurora is losing its light. I have to try, insisted. Seeing the fire in her eyes, Bram reluctantly agreed. He gave her a small pouch of dried berries and a warm cloak. Be careful, he said, his voice full of worry. I will, father, replied, her voice filled with determination. Began her ascent. The wind tore at her cloak, and the ice bit into her fingers. She stumbled and fell, but she kept going. She remembered her grandmother's stories about the ice spirits, and she treated them with respect, leaving small offerings of berries at the base of icy formations. She climbed higher and higher, the village shrinking below her. She faced challenges, little sparrow. The ice winds tested her strength, and the treacherous slopes threatened to send her tumbling down, Lyra explained, her eyes twinkling. But she persevered, remembering her dream. As she neared the summit, saw a sight that made her heart sink. The flowers were withered and brown, their magical luminescence gone. She saw a young boy named, shivering in the snow, staring at the lifeless blooms. She wasn't the only one wanting to help little sparrow, Lyra said. It was a young sky weaver too, from a family that had lost their colors long ago. The blight, it's everywhere, said, his voice trembling. There's nothing we can do. Refuse to give up. She remembered a story Nana Willow had told her about the singing stones, ancient rocks that resonated with the earth's energy. She'd heard they held the power to heal the land. There's a legend of the singing stones, said. They say they can restore the land's magic. Have you heard of them? Legends are just stories, scoffed, but knew she had to try. She searched the slopes, following a faint hum that resonated in her ears. Finally, she found them 3 large, moss-covered stones nestled in a sheltered cove. When she touched them, she felt a surge of energy flow through her. She discovered the singing stones, little sparrow, Lyra said, and she learned that true magic isn't just about colors and threads, but about courage and connection. Realized that the stones weren't enough on their own. They needed something to amplify their power, the essence of hope, the will to heal. She asked to join her. Together, they started to sing, a simple melody passed down through generations. As they sang, the stones began to glow, their energy resonating with their voices. Their voices blended, little sparrow, creating a symphony of hope, and the stones answered, releasing their power. The glow intensified, spreading across the mountainside. The withered flowers began to stir, their petals unfurling, their magical luminescence returning. The colors of the aurora began to reappear, swirling and dancing across the sky. She learned, little sparrow, that even the smallest person can make a big difference, and returned to the village, greeted as heroes. Bram, seeing the joy in his daughter's eyes and the renewed beauty of the aurora, finally understood. He realized that sky weaving wasn't just a tradition, but a way of connecting with the magic of the land. It was a celebration, little sparrow, a testament to the power of hope and determination. Alongside, began teaching the younger children the ancient techniques of sky weaving, passing on the knowledge and the love for the magic. She became a sky weaver, not just by birthright, but by courage and heart. Lyra smiled, her eyes twinkling. And so, little sparrow, the colors have shone brighter than ever before, because a little girl dared to climb a mountain and reminded everyone that even in the darkest times, hope can always bloom. Pip, his eyes wide with wonder, snuggled closer to Lyra. "Tell me another story, Grandma." "Tell me about the stars," Lyra chuckled. "Perhaps another time, little sparrow. For now, it's time for sleep. And remember, even the smallest light can chase away the darkness."